Hello and good morning, Sudoku friends, and welcome to the first Sudoku of 2024. I wish everyone a happy new year 2024. I know the big event, at least in Vietnam and in China, is going to be when the Spring Festival arrives. It's usually a much bigger celebration than the traditional New Year that we had last night. And I'm fortunate that I will be able to celebrate the Spring Festival, or Tet as it's called in Vietnam this time. That aside, let's have a look at this puzzle. It is a hard puzzle, and it is once again by the New York Times. Let's have a look at these two fives blocking here, 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 and here. So we have a 5 here. Now it's clear that an 8 must go in one of these squares, and a 9 must go here or here, and therefore we are going to have 9 in one of these 3 squares. We're also going to have a 3 in one of these 3 squares because of these 2 3s blocking. 2 must go either here, here, or here, blocking down. This 2 blocks across, this 2 blocks across, this 2 blocks up, so here's a 2. 3 block down and 3 blocks up, so one of these two must be a 3, but there is not much I can do with that information just yet. The 9 blocks across here, and we got these 9s blocking down, so a 9 must go in this position, and now we have a 9 in one of these 2 squares, right? 7 will have to go either here or here because the 7 blocks across, and also the 7 blocks over here, right? So a 5 and a 7 blocking this square, it must be an 8 or a 9. Something interesting I think is happening in these 2 squares. They must be a 3 and a 4 because we have a 3 and a 4 blocking here, and we have a 3 and a 4 blocking here, here, and here. So here's a 3 and a 4. And since this 9 blocks here, we know that this is a 9. This 9 blocks up, this 9 blocks over, this 9 also blocks up, so a 9 goes here in column 9. These 3 empty squares in column 8 must be a 5, 8, and 6. Can we do anything with that? Yes, we can. We have a 5 and an 8 blocking here, so this must be a 6. And we now have 5 and 8 in these 2 squares, and 5 of course blocks here, giving me an 8 for this position and a 5 for this. Here now are 2 and a 7 for these 2 squares. Let's have a look at the 4 and the 3 here. That leaves 1, 2, 7, 8. 1, 2, 7, 8 for these squares. There's a 1, 2 here. This is a 7, 8. 1, 8. 2, 7. So yes, an 8 has got to go here, here, or here. A 1 must go in one of these 2 squares because these are 3 and 4. 1 blocks here. So yes, 1 here, here, or here. So it's clear that these being a 3 and a 4 makes these a 1, 5, and an 8. And that begs the question, what do we do with the 6s for column 7? This 6 blocks here, here, and here. This 6 blocks here, and this 6 blocks here. So here's a 6. Now we have a 2, 7 remote pair here, and we can solve those because the 2 forces a 7 to go here, 2 here, and a 7 here. And now we know for sure that these must be a 1, 2, and an 8. The 1, 2 blocks over, here's the 8. 1, 2 here, and 1, 2 here. And now it's also clear that these two squares must be a 9 and a 5. This 5 blocks down, so here's a 9 and here's the 5. Now we're going to have a 5 here or here. 9s now. Blocks over. 9 blocks, one of this can be a 9 and this can be a 9. Only these two squares can be 9s in the first column. So we are looking at 9 candidates for these two squares and for these two squares. It's not entirely transparent, but if we look at this square, first of all, I looked at all of these squares, right? And they must be a 1, 2, 4, and a 6. We have a 4 and a 6 blocking here, so it's clear that the corner square must be a 1 or a 2. Now look at this square here. It cannot be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So this is also a 1 or a 2. And we have a 1 or a 2 here. We have a 1 or a 2 here. So there's no way that this square can be a 1 or a 2 because of the unique rectangle problem. So let's have a look and see if we can figure out what this is if it's not a 1 or a 2. It could be a 3, yes, but not a 4, not a 5, 6, 7, 9, or 8. So yes, this has got to be a 3. Now we're going to have 3s here or here. And can we do something across here now finally? 1 and 2 block here and here. So 1 and 2 go here and here. So 1, 2 here, 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 and here. Wow. So if these are not 1 and 2, they must be an 8 and a 4, right? So the 8 blocks down giving me this 4 and this 8. Here now 6, 7, and a 5, and I don't know what to do about that. Oh, but we said that this was a 1, 2, didn't we? So the 2 blocks down. So obviously this is a 1 and this is a 2. And this is a 1 and this is a 2 and this is a 1. Nice. Here now a 4 and an 8. They will have to wait a little while longer. A 1, 4, 7 for these 3 squares. There's a 1 and a 7 blocking this square. So here's a 4. Now we know that this is a 4 and this must be an 8. And here now, of course, 1 and a 7 pair, leaving a 2, 6, and a 4 to figure out. We can figure out the 4 at least. The 4 blocks over here, this 4 blocks here, so here's a 4. This 4 blocks up, this 4 blocks down, and this 4 blocks over. Here's a 4. Now we can solve the 4 3 pairs here. So the 4 goes here and the 3 here, of course, now. This 3 blocks here, this 3 blocks here, here's a 3. 3 blocks over like so and up. So we're going to have a 3 either here or here, but we also know that one of these is a 3. In the meantime, can we do anything with the 9s? I don't think we can. We can have a 9 here or here. What else is missing in column 1? A 5 and a 7. We know that This therefore must be a 7 or a 9. This is a 7 or a 5. This is a 5 or a 9. Let's get off that roller coaster and look at something else. Look, for example, at the missing 2 and 6 in the first row, the 2 blocks up. So here's a 6 and here's a 2, right? That was very easy. Now 3, 9 and a 7 here. And a 2 and a 6 for these 2 squares, the 2 blocks up, giving me a 6 here and a 2 here. Now these squares must be a 1 and a 7 pair. The 1 blocks over. Here is a 7, and here's a 1, and here's a 7. Which now blocks these squares. This 7 blocks here, therefore 7 goes in this position, and these 2 7s block all of these 5 squares. This 7 blocks up. 7 must go here, therefore. Remember how we said 3, 7, 9 for these squares? Now we have a 7 and a 9 blocking here, so here's a 3. And I think we could find one more 3, right? This 3 blocks up, this blocks down. We got 3s blocking here and here. So yes, here's a 3. This square, quite obviously, must be an 8. These are 7 9s, 7 blocks up, 9 here, 7 here. 9 and 5 here now, the 9 blocks over. Therefore, this is a 5, this is a 9. 1 and 6 here, easy. The 6 blocks over, giving me this 1 and this 6. Five and 6 here, they will have to wait. Oh, but hang on, we have a 6 blocking across here and a 6 blocking across here. So here's a 6, yes. Now we have a 6 here and we have a 5 here. 5 blocks up, therefore we have a 5 in this square. This 5 blocks here, this 5 blocks here, here's a 5. And here must go a 1. And here an 8. That gives us an 8 for this square and a 1 for this. And that is how we solved today's New York Times Hard Sudoku puzzle, January 1st, a holiday in many places of the world. I hope you have a nice one. And again, happy 2024. Bye for now.